Hello, and welcome to our playthrough of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. So, this is kind of a big project for me. Spent a while recording and editing all of this.
I'm just surprised that it's a big undertaking. I'm glad you were able to finish it.
I was worried ahead of time. Most of what I've recorded before has been fairly linear, easy to plan out. This one was a bit tougher, but I think it worked out. Now, those of you who are sufficiently experienced with the series may be thinking, hey, wait a second, why is this playing the demo? Shouldn't it go straight from the logos into the title screen? Magic of editing. When I was doing a recording test, I captured the demo here, and I liked it, and I wanted to splice it in. So,
Yeah, I don't remember this little intro, so that's a nice touch.
yeah, this plays if you linger on the title screen. And it's got the orchestrated version of Simple and Clean. And I'm not sure that I would recommend someone to watch this when they start up the game, maybe, but it contains a lot of stuff from later in the game.
Oh, yeah. Huh. A narrative-based game, that is tricky.
But yeah, so what's your experience with Kingdom Hearts?
Oh boy,
just to start us
okay.
off?
So, other than
Basically, it's all my fault.
no, actually, believe it or not, there was a time before you were even really all that involved in my life that Kingdom Hearts had a different chapter. No. Other than the lots of Hot Topic merch that I'd always see, there was a friend of mine in our neighborhood, Alma, and he was, I'm going to put it to you this way. He was, imagine your level of knowledge, but if you had hyperactivity. He was just way too enthused about Kingdom Hearts when he was showing it off.
I do remember a neighborhood function where I based off of my vague memories, it had to have been 358 days because it mentioned half days. He said the title wrong. And I was like, what half days? What is all this? And so that must have been around like, I think 2007.
It could have, yeah, it could have been him. But yeah, I hate to say my first, other than messing around with Destiny Island, like at some point that I don't remember, maybe at a friend's house. I hate to say my first introduction to this series that was concrete was watching the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. So I kind of, it's like how I watched Return of the King as my first foray into
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, it's just I did it wrong. I did it bad. But fortunately, I don't even know my memories of what I saw were accurate because it was just so out of, like, I don't know what's going on. To be fair, it's Kingdom Hearts. Who knows when anything is going on? Like, it can be pretty jank.
as we will see. So, real brief, my experience with Kingdom Hearts started when I was 12, perusing the my local video rental store for video games to rent. And I saw the Disney characters on the cover of, I'm pretty sure it was Kingdom Hearts 1. And when I took it up to the desk, they were like, oh, we don't have the disc for Kingdom Hearts 2. We can't find it, but we can rent you one. And I remember thinking, I thought I grabbed one. I want to play one anyway. And I got to about, I'm going to be playing on Proud mode for this.
Nice. I'm a wuss. I did not play on Proud.
I think I got to the second world. And sort of gave up. I don't remember if I just needed to return it or if I lost interest. Many years later, I was at my local gray whale, which is sadly also defunct, and saw a PS2 copy of this and was like, okay, I'll give this another go. I'll see what all the fuss is about. I didn't even get out of Wonderland before I dropped it and had some buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Then one of my favorite YouTubers, Nico B, started doing the series and did the first 4 games right in a row, and as soon as he was finishing up 358, I was like, I'll give this another go. Loaded up the PS2 version, and I had the biggest blast ever. Something clicked, and then right after that was when we got that PS3 together, mostly so that I could get Persona 5 the following year. This was in the summer of 2016. And before I even had the PS3, I got the 2 compilations for it, and that was a Kingdom Hearts machine for a while.
Mm-hmm. So, is this Evanescence?
I'm trying to remember. So this is a remix of Simple and Clean by Hikaru Utada, who's always been the vocalist for Kingdom Hearts main songs. But I'm trying to remember what the remix is. Let me see.
Because, like, it's giving... like, this song always gave me Evanescence vibes.
Oh, wait, no. I think it's Planet B is the name of the remix. So maybe that's the group that collaborated with it. But yeah, so this version is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix on PC. This is the Steam version.
This cutscene blew my mind as a kid because I didn't understand how video games worked.
Yeah, this was Square Enix doing their, flexing their pre-rendered video stuff that they were always famous for. Because this in 2002, this was incredible.
Yeah. I had the biggest crush on Kairi back in the day. I'm just gonna say, wow, that's the first thing I said about it. Oof.
I think a lot of kids had a crush on Kairi as a kid. She's a lovely little tomboy.
Yeah.
So you may notice that the game might look a little bit different from how you have it on PC. This, and you may have also noticed the title, I am running a couple of mods.
Oh!
Nothing major. It's mostly slight improvements. One of those mods is to downgrade the textures. For the Steam version, they one of the features was that all the textures had been AI upscaled. I'm not a big fan of all of the changes that they made to the textures, so I downloaded a revert mod, and it also uses up... Reverting it also means that it uses up less disk space, which I like.
Yeah, I feel like AI upscaling can be good if you're really conscientious about it.
I mean, I think technically we've had AI upscale textures ever since this game came out on the PS3 to some degree. I remember seeing that. I don't know how true that is, but
I just realized it starts out with Snow White, which is Disney's first, feature-length movie.
Yep. It's very intentional here. And don't get used to seeing Disney characters on these. These are called stations. Don't get used to that because they very quickly de-emphasize Disney characters as part of the world building and after this game.
It's kind of a shame, really.
It is. I thought that when I first played this, having these Disney elements, these Disney princesses presented as these, essential pieces of this universe was really quite fascinating. It pulled me in almost immediately. And the fact that we only ever see Kingdom Hearts original characters on these stations from here on kind of feels like they're moving away from that.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Seven Sages thing a little bit from Zelda.
All right, so the weapon selection.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you do.
So yes, this is a feature of specifically the numbered Kingdom Hearts games, choosing between usually a sword, a shield, and a staff. And the main thing that this does is it determines what skills you get, what abilities you get, in what order. So staff, you get magic-related skills first, shield, defensive, sword, offensive.
I usually went for sword back in the day.
Yes. So right here, I pick the shield. And
dodge roll, question mark?
The reason, honestly, if I were to record all this again, I hope I don't have to. If I were to record this again, I would probably pick this sword. After a while, I got a little bit of regret. The reason I picked this shield, which is what I usually do, is because it gets you your critical life-saving abilities earlier. Especially Leaf Bracer and Second Chance. Those are the ones in this game that will keep you alive. And I am playing on Proud Mode. but the sword is more fun.
I've got to ask, does this mean like you have less attack power? Because that's what I always took it as.
So yeah, the choice of weapons, and right there we also saw that, and it's only for this game, after you pick a weapon, you have to choose one to give up. What combination you get, there are 6 different combinations, does also determine your starting stats. I specifically chose the shield and gave up the sword because it's not particularly bad in any one area. The attack power is a little low, but it's not as low as it could be if I picked the staff and gave up the sword. But choosing the shield also gives you the maximum number of item slots by the end of the game, and that can be quite helpful.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I just said that the sword is more fun. That's because the actual attacks, the combo moves, you get those a lot earlier with the sword. And for Kingdom Hearts 2, they realized that locking those behind a specific path wasn't a great idea because it means that the other 2 paths, you're mostly doing the same combos throughout the vast majority of the game. And they figured out a different way to do it, and now, basically in Kingdom Hearts 2, the correct answer is to take the shield because you can still have fun and stay alive.
I want to say about that staff, I can picture the exact kind of rubber, how it smells, and if it were to be a prop. And I hate that I could see myself wanting to just chew on it because, I don't know, it has that look of almost candy. But here's Little Heartless, fellas.
And I would, honestly, I think that the 2 choices you should go with are either take the sword and give up the shield, or take the shield and give up the sword. Don't mess with the staff at all.
Does that just give you more MP, or...?
If you choose the staff, the main upside is that you start with 1 extra MP.
That's not much.
It can, if you... Magic is usually not something that you want to focus on in Kingdom Hearts because you don't always have access to it, unlike your Keyblade. I don't know, there are exceptions, but you definitely don't want to give up the staff, because if you do, you start with 1 AP instead of 3, and AP is incredibly precious.
So, if you were to have a character narrate all this, who would it be?
There is actually, we know exactly which character is saying this, they just don't play the voice because it would give it away.
Because I can just picture just a really obnoxious Mickey Mouse voice for all this if it was just... oh, man. I feel like some flagship characters, like Mickey, I don't know. Some voice actors can do casual Mickey talking, but it's usually really loud. So I've never seen anybody go with the shield, so it's funny to see how you're actually fighting with it. Just bashing people around.
Just right here for this little sequence, whatever weapon you pick. And I distinctly remember when I first played this game when I was like 12, I picked the staff. Mostly because of the descriptions of the weapons, like it made the sword sound very ominous, a sword of terrible destruction. The staff seemed the most... it wasn't the shield, which I thought was kind of boring, but the staff seemed fine enough, so I took that, and I think I gave up the sword.
I love when dark magic has purple undertones like that. It's something that Metroid Prime 2 also did, and I feel like a lot of games of this era had that good purple look. What?
So this...
Oh, no, go ahead.
What were you going to say?
Oh, the thing we're standing on doesn't feel like it's associated with anything.
I was just about to talk about the station we're on. Yeah, this one is, if it zooms out, it actually shows that there are 3 princess silhouettes. So basically, with the 7 princesses of this game, we get stations for 4 of them, and then the other 3 are represented here to sort of mask their identities, because they're the ones that we're actually going to be interacting with more so.
Oh yeah, I don't even recall Cinderella being a factor in this series ever. Now that I think about it.
She is. We go to her world at one point.
In this game?
Not in this game.
Okay.
Not in this game. In a later one, but
I wish that you would get a chance to be like transformed to be one of the mice or something, instead of like just a human.
back on the subject of the shield, so I know that there was a mod that, and I'm not using that one, I just know that it exists, that tried to move a bunch of abilities around, and they tried to give you guard at level 1, but they actually had to put off guard till level 2, because apparently the animations for guarding in shield, I think the game might crash if it tries to do that.
Oh, that's funny. And ironic.
Or it might even just be that it doesn't look quite right, so they make it so that you can't actually get guard until after this sequence.
I see.
In case you pick the shield.
One thing I never liked was how the camera was on the shoulder buttons back in the day. I'm so glad that they moved past that.
Yep, and that was how I first played the game on the PS2, and you had to navigate the menu, I believe, with the right analog stick, which wasn't great. Lots of little quality of life features, most especially using triangle for things, because triangle was used for almost nothing on PS2. Now, I mentioned mods.
Girl.
Oh, actually, so real quick, there is actually a mod for this area right here. So the skybox, I know you like your skyboxes.
I do.
The cloud skybox here was updated for the HD version, but they missed this sequence.
Oh, that's funny.
So by default, this sequence uses the old one.
That's interesting.
So this mod restores the modern skybox
nice.
to this area, which there is I believe, a Mickey face in the clouds.
Oh,
hidden.
that's fun. For anybody that likes skyboxes, there's a channel called Any Austin, and he has Skybox Appreciation Series, which is nice.
So this sequence is a feature exclusive to Kingdom Hearts 1, even though I'm sure a lot of fans wouldn't mind if it came back. So this is where we customize our leveling curve.
I never realized how crazy her hair is.
Yep, these are our first glimpse of the Final Fantasy characters. That's Selphie from Final Fantasy VIII, Tidus and Wakka from Final Fantasy X.
Don't tell Wakka. I gotta tell Wakka.
So right here, depending on our answers to these questions, we can customize at what rate we level up at different points in the game. So the top answers will, if we pick more of those, then we will start the game at dawn. Middle answers will start the game at midday, and the last answers at dusk. Midday means that we'll have a pretty even leveling curve throughout the entire game. Dawn means that we'll level up a bit faster for the first, it's either 40 or 50 levels, and then slower afterwards, or dusk means that we'll level up slower at the beginning, but then faster later.
I think I prefer that now that I'm older and fatter.
So I went with Dawn, and the reason why was because when I started this, I thought that I wasn't going to make this 100% playthrough. It is a 100% playthrough. I am very thorough, and I think I would have preferred Dusk because it would have meant that I would be at a higher level by the end. And I also wanted to get to the really important stuff as soon as possible. Oh yes, so Aurora here is wearing a purple dress, which she did not wear in the film. Purple is often cited as the compromise between the blue and pink that the fairies always fight over in the film.
I like that.
Yeah, so on the subject of mods, one of the very few that I am running, is actually a mod of my own design. It is the Consistent Translation mod. I made these for every game in the series, except for Melody of Memory, because it actually doesn't need it, in order to reduce some of the inconsistencies between the games. For example, Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and 2 call the defensive move Guard, whereas every game after that calls it Block. So I changed it to Block in 1, Chain, and 2, so that they're all the same, and I might point out more of those as we get to them. But yeah, so that's one of the mods.
And you brought that up while they said you couldn't open the menu during battle. Can you open the menu during battle with a mod?
I'm not sure if there's ever been a mod that does that, but yeah. So one of the rules across all Kingdom Hearts games is that in combat you can't open up the menu to change things around. You can only just pause the game. You have to be out of combat to like.
I'm thinking of the chest mod you talked about. Never mind.
Yeah, there is one of the more popular mods for Kingdom Hearts that people have tried to make is to make it so that you can open up chests and examine things out of combat, which thanks to the fallout of these games coming to Steam and changing the game files, not all of the mods have landed on their feet, and I wasn't able to get that one working.
Darn.
But yeah, one of the changes of my mods earlier was that when it was telling us about enemy pickups, it called, in the original game, it calls them items. The technical term for the pickups that fall out of enemies, like these green orbs here, is prizes.
That's so surprising to me.
Yeah, so I changed that to make it more consistent with later stuff. So yeah, those are HP prizes, and there are other abilities later that talk specifically about, oh, this increases the prize drop rate or something.
I want to...
So that is a technical term.
Mm-hmm. I really want real versions of those stained glass he just ran up, because those are really pretty.
They are, and I think they've made like alarm clocks out of them.
Reminds me of an old calculator with crystal buttons my grandparents had. I loved to look at as a child. Oh, Dark Sora.
One of many instances of them playing around with a dark shadow Sora. They love going back to that well. So this is a Darkside, and it has an absolutely brilliant design with the heart cavity in the center. It's a heartless. The heart is just gone.
Yeah, this thing scared me the first time I played the game.
I distinctly remember after I played Kingdom Hearts for the first time and didn't, think too much of it, I thought I would play this sequence over and over anytime. I thought it was super cool. It was after that the game sort of lost me, mostly because I was like, where's Mickey? Why am I playing as this guy who looks kind of like him?
Do you wish they kept Sora's tail?
Yeah, so I assume you've seen the concept art where he was much more lion-inspired?
Yeah. When I borrowed your copy forever ago.
Yeah, I have the 1.5 art book version, where the game case also has some concept art stuff in it. I mean, it would have been interesting, I guess, but I like our Sora.
Yeah, I think it works out.
It's interesting, the reason why they went away from that was because of Final Fantasy IX. They didn't want to have two vaguely lion-like protagonists sort of aping off each other.
I'm thinking of starting to play the MMO of that series, but I don't know.
Final Fantasy XIV?
Maybe?
Huh. Alright.
Could be a terrible mistake.
So, the music in this Awakening sequence is called Dive to the Heart Distati. Distati is one of the most important pieces of Kingdom Hearts music, and it's one that a large number of Kingdom Hearts fans have probably never heard.
Oh.
Distati was the very first piece of music ever composed for the series, and I think it was composer Yoko Shimomura's, audition for the role of composer for this series. And it basically sums up the series. It's supposed to embody it thematically, but until Melody of Memory in 2020, the song itself never actually made it into the games. They just would take bits of it and put it into other pieces of music, such as the vocals there for Dive to the Heart.
It's kind of wild. You lazy bum.
And actually, the full original studio recording that they had when they were developing this game, I don't think saw the light of day until it was released as a track in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know.
And Distati is also considered to be cursed by the development team, because every time they tried to take a piece of it and put it into a different song when developing this game, something weird would happen, such as the building they were in having a sudden loss of power.
Huh. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, especially considering that the song is supposed to embody darkness and its eternal conflict with light.
I wonder, by putting the full song in, I wonder if they appeased it finally. Nah.
I wouldn't mind going to see it.
Alright, so now that we have some voices, we can talk voice actors. Sora, since day one, has been voiced by Haley Joel Osment.
Hey! Aren't you guys forgetting about me?
Kyrie here is Hayden Panettiere, who also voiced Dot in A Bug's Life.
Oh! That's
And
cool.
you're
I
just
never
as
made that
lazy as
connection.
he is.
And Riku is David Gallagher, who played
Fuck
Simon
Riku.
Camden in Seventh Heaven.
I'll race
Ha.
you.
Huh? What? Are you kidding?
Ready? Go!
Get used to seeing this moment.
I'll race you. Doesn't even attempt to run. Oh, no, wait, no, she's back there.
So yeah, this little sequence of these three running on the beach has become a part of the series iconography. This is how they always flash back to the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1. It's been incorporated into several game openings when they're trying to recap the series.
So I was recently at Disneyland, and I wonder if they were at all inspired by the Tom Sawyer's Island to make Destiny Island at all.
It's possible. The Disney parks have inspired Kingdom Hearts before. It's the reason why we have why the series has sea salt ice cream in it.
Wait, you can get that?
That I believe they incorporated that starting with Kingdom Hearts 2 because it was a favorite treat of probably Nomura's at Tokyo Disney Sea.
Oh, I really want to try it.
All right, so gotta get supplies for our raft because these three want to leave, even though in this game it's established that they have families, and even in Kingdom Hearts 2, like, we know that they go to school.
Yeah, all that stuff is so weird.
It's a JRPG. Just forget about it. They're gonna go off on adventures.
Log. Cut to the Tumblr comic about Sora's mom dealing with the grief and loss of Sora as he died in a car accident. I don't know.
We'll get to Sora's mom.
Oh, man.
Oh yes, go into first person to look around because early 3D, that we were still fascinated with that.
I mean, I always appreciate the option.
Ah, the breeze feels great.
It's an easy thing to program. So
She sounds almost like a Pokemon voice actress.
she might have been. Let's see. In this game,
Okay, don't hold back.
oh, I don't have information on Selphie's voice actress.
She also kind of sounds like Amy Rose from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
So, you can fight the three Final Fantasy characters on the beach here, and this seeks to teach you about the game's mechanics, most especially revenge values.
Oh.
So basically, if you push the attack, whenever you hit an enemy, you increase a hidden value called a revenge value, and once it gets high enough, the enemy will break out of hit stun and retaliate. And so, without even realizing it, I remember sort of cluing into this when I played this when I was a kid, was that if you get too greedy, if you try and go at them too hard, they will fight back. You need to be able to pace yourself and only hit enemies so much.
Yeah.
And I think the game does a very good job of teaching that.
The Riku sparring taught me that the most because
Yes.
I noticed with Selphie's this is a very stupid thing to point out, but I noticed that her jump rope was spinning in her hand in a way that didn't make sense. If you look
Yeah,
up
and
close.
I'm sure that was harder to see on PS2.
On a CRT.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind seeing this game on a CRT. That would take me back.
Hey, what's happening, man?
So Wakka's voice actor is D. Bradley Baker.
That sounds
Let's
familiar.
Show me your stuff.
I don't have too much information. So I know that Wakka was originally meant to be a different character. I'm trying to find which one. Oh, Irvine from Final Fantasy VIII was intended to be one of the Destiny Island characters, but Nomura couldn't come up with a suitably beach design for him, so they went with Wakka instead, who fit right in.
Oh, so these are unique outfits for this game?
Usually, Final Fantasy characters get a redesign to make them fit more in with Kingdom Hearts. Like, Wakka here appears younger than he is in Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay, that makes sense. He always struck me as a little old for this group. Even so.
So right there, I hit his ball, which is a high-risk, high-reward maneuver in this fight. but also it said Tech 2. So this game is the only game in the series to have tech points. Basically, if you parry things or do stuff right in combat, you can get extra experience.
As watching somebody, I saw somebody do the grind a level, max level on Destiny Island, and they had to, really take advantage of that.
Yeah, the power leveling strategy there is to go against Tidus because you can very easily loop him on tech points.
Ooh.
But yeah, right there, Wakka has a tendency to get into that little corner and get stuck. I was trying to coax him out, but then I just beat him. So there is one mod that I like. I think it might still be in the process of recovering and coming back to prominence, but and everything. But it removes the MP bar from the beginning of the game because you can't use magic yet.
Ah, yeah.
I think they opted to keep it there because otherwise people who pick the staff would be like, well, I picked magic, why don't I have any magic?
That is kind of annoying, yeah.
And be able to see like, oh, my friend picked sword, but I picked staff, and see I have 3 whereas he has 2.
It reminds me of the unused magic meter in Twilight Princess, but in reverse.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that on the back of the box and being like, where's this?
I love that he has those zip-off pants, but one of the legs is gone.
Nomura very much likes his fashionable asymmetry.
He also loves his zippers, because that fanny pack is, like, built into the pants.
So, Tidus here is voiced by Sean Fleming. Both Tidus and Wakka, due to being depicted so much younger here than in Final Fantasy VIII, were recast. Which is interesting because Tidus already had a child voice actor. Well, he had 2 voice actors in 10, one for an adult and one for flashbacks when he was a kid. I assume. I've never played Final Fantasy X. But his child voice actor there, Cree Summer, was not used here.
Cree Summer, that name sounds so familiar.
On the subject of voices, this game has a very unique performance for Sora because Haley Joel Osment recorded this right before he went through puberty, and every game afterwards he sounds very different.
Yeah. And yet, it's funny because he can still do a pretty high voice no matter how old he got. There was an episode where he was in some medical show, and he slips into his Sora voice a little bit. In that scene.
Yep, I've seen that clip. I don't think it was a medical show. I think the first episode just had the character in a medical environment. Okay. Oh, right here, I'm pretty sure I walked outside of the bounds of the encounter, so it auto-failed me.
I didn't even know that could happen.
Now, I want to say that for Kingdom Hearts 3, they figured out that in previous games, Osmond's performance, even though he does try and heighten his voice, he still just sounds way too old. I think they artificially pitched up his lines in 3.
Okay. Yeah, luckily that tech's a lot better than it used to be.
The change in voice from 1 to 2 actually works really well, because Sora does change quite a bit. The problem is that with Rechain of Memories, when they went back, the original Game Boy Advance version of that, they just reused voice samples from this game, but when they ported it to PS2 and redid all the voice acting, I think that was recorded after Kingdom Hearts 2, so yeah, it's suddenly Sora has a much deeper voice.
The Game Boy Advance had voice acting? That's actually kind of surprising.
It wasn't voice acting. It was just like the grunts.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they were clearly just the same ones from Kingdom Hearts 1.
I love the little icons for the different worlds in the top right corner. Those are always a nice touch.
So this. Something common with all of the hardest difficulties for Kingdom Hearts games is the ability to turn off your EXP income so that people can do level 1 runs. If that's your thing, more power to you. Please keep those away from me. I have no interest.
Yeah, gosh. There's only a couple games I will challenge myself in that way.
So the game released in Japan on March 28th of 2002. We got it on September 17th of 2002.
That's pretty fast turnaround time.
And then Final Mix, exclusive to Japan, came out on December 26th, 2002. So the version history is interesting because of the several-month gap between the Japanese and North American and international releases. The international release had additional content that they were able to develop and put in, and mostly including some additional bosses. But they didn't want the Japanese player base to miss out on this extra content, so they put it all into Final Mix along with some additional new stuff. But that version was Japan exclusive for the longest time until they came out with the PS3 compilations, starting with 1.5 in 2013. So for over 10 years, we were bereft of the full Kingdom Hearts 1 experience.
And now for the fight that made me very frustrated as a kid.
Riku is the final boss of Destiny Islands. Although, after a little bit, once you get used to him, he's not that bad.
Yeah. Knowing about the donkey kick. Like, oh, you actually went past him. That's smart.
That was luck. So yeah, that get-up attack there, that's his desperation move. And that's what you really have to look out for, because it hits hard.
I'd expect nothing less from Buff Riku. Also, those coconuts can hurt you, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you usually have just enough time. Like, you think you don't have enough time, but then usually you can get out of the way of that.
Yeah.
But if you're landing lag can really screw you over.
And I would try to... Because I was always frustrated by how slow and clunky a lot of the combat felt in the first game until you really unlock a lot of moves. And the fact that you can attack faster in the air made me bait myself. Oh, you needed Leaf Bracer there.
Unfortunately, Leaf Bracer only works on Cure Magic, not items.
Oh, I didn't know that.
However, even if they interrupt you, you still get the item, but it takes the same amount of time. So if that hadn't have killed me, even though he hit me while I was using it, I still would have gotten the potion.
Okay.
Yes, if you fall off the platform here, it is an instant loss.
Yep. The biggest thing I hated was the fact that he keeps a track of the score, and that was the worst OCD because I kept digging myself in a deeper hole.
Yeah, it's to establish Sora and Riku's little competitive relationship, So the item management here had some interesting ideas on how people would use it, such as the exchange, being able to move items directly from one character to the other. They got rid of a lot of the fluff and tightened it up in Kingdom Hearts 2, because they realized they really didn't need that. It just adds additional inputs where you don't need it.
Was there
I think I did that because in the intro, I didn't actually pick up the barrels. I meant to do that.
Yeah.
Yes?
Oh. I expected there to be something in the barrel. And there was
they don't have much of anything here on Destiny Island in terms of like prizes and pickups.
Oh, there's a castle there.
Yeah, so this is we're meant to understand this is the area where everybody plays and writes on the walls. So
hey, is that Donald?
Don't worry. So it's Donald next to a chocobo. Don't think too much about these drawings.
I never noticed that reference.
But yeah.
You just know somebody's gonna make a Sora had a coma theory out of all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is unconfirmed, but possible that Mickey was originally intended to be the series protagonist, but due to issues, which I can go into in more detail later, they weren't, and Sora was made as an alternative. The other possibility is that has also been unconfirmed is that they wanted to go with Mickey, but then other parts of the team wanted to go with Donald, and they couldn't decide, and Sora was their compromise.
Let's see. No, it's
But
funny.
Sora's design here is clearly meant to evoke Mickey.
Oh, yeah.
But giant yellow shoes, red
Ooh,
pants.
That's a beautiful sunset.
Kyrie's home is out there.
And there is, people have made art of Sora in this costume not wearing the jacket, and it's
We'll
cursed.
never know by staying
It's
here.
like the Aladdin joke
But
of,
how far did a raft take us?
you know what, maybe I won't finish that sentence.
If we have to.
So this scene is one of the scenes that is recreated in the Kingdom Hearts VR experience.
Oh, that's fun.
It is a free thing that you can download for the original PlayStation VR. And yeah, you can view this scene in VR from Sora's perspective.
It's just,
That's fun.
I've always wondered.
And then after
why
that,
we
it plays
on this
a
island.
little VR music video with all the characters looking out over the water. And it's kind of presented like Fantasia with some of the water screens. And it's the Dream Drop Distance intro.
Then ours is just a little piece of
Gee,
something
Riku,
much
I didn't
greater.
know you were gonna be a philosophy major.
So, we could have just
Yeah,
as easily ended up somewhere else, right?
Riku, his motivation is that he's just bored of the island. It's too small, it's too constricting. He wants to see the world.
Find out.
And yet, they say let's go home,
Sitting here
so they can get off this island somehow to go
It's the
to
same old
some
stuff.
house.
Yeah, that's something that is frequently misunderstood about the series. Destiny Islands is not just this little island here. This is basically the city playground.
I probably
Yeah.
would've
The main
never
island
thought of
is elsewhere, and the kids just row boats over here. We'll see Sora in his house in a minute, and it's obvious that this is a different landmass than this
Right.
here.
Sora! You wanted one.
They actually do show that island in Kingdom Hearts 2 briefly, but then they
Oh.
never do it
Share
again.
one.
They just keep
Their destinies
referring to
become
Destiny
intertwined.
Islands as this
They'll
area.
remain a part of each other's
Weird.
lives, no matter what.
Wonder if this game made
Come on, I know
Starfruit
you
sales
wanna try it.
What are you
skyrocket.
And the Pow Poo, they keep being like, oh, let's share a Pow Poo, and then they always have their own. They don't actually share the same one. Kingdom Hearts 3 title screen, come on. And this is what kept me invested when I first started playing. It's like, finally, there's Donald, there's Disney stuff. I didn't grab the wrong game.
I like the very square swirls. That is a good look.
Yep, so Donald's in his court magician outfit. I love this gag.
It's fun.
So I believe Disney Castle was originally intended to be a explorable world and was cut fairly late. So through hacking, I think you can explore most of
nice.
this environment.
Because I feel like I almost like you never actually play in here, but it's so iconic. You almost swear you have memories of doing so.
Everything here can be explored in Kingdom Hearts 2. So
Okay.
they
I wouldn't
did
know.
eventually
I
make
have-
good on it, but
I actually haven't gotten that far in Kingdom Hearts 2 yet. I need to finish it. I need to finish. I need to like get out of the tutorial hell.
yeah, and that's also probably the reason why there are a world icon for Disney Castle in this game, even though it can't be interacted with in any way.
Well,
I like that as a bit of a thing of like, okay, so this is the sort of like the magic of the series. Like, oh yeah, Donald just knows thunder magic.
yeah. Oh, I never noticed that goofy hedge back there. That's cool.
It's not Goofy himself, but these are a bunch of like I think bit characters from old Disney cartoons. I always forget that Daisy is in this game, in this series, and that Donald is canonically together with her.
Huh.
Donald Duck is not maidenless.
Does he ever show up? Does she ever show up again?
Yes. Well, anyway, that will do it for this part. So join us next time as we continue Kingdom Hearts.